Welcome back to another video, guys, and today we have a sneak peek number 3 of the upcoming update 3.0. And today we're going to be looking at the very important aspect of this update, and that is the Guild Wars changes. As you know, we've been told back in February that this April update is going to look and have a lot of changes to Guild Wars and the way you play Guild Wars. And this update does change many things about Guild Wars, and I think it's important to go over each single one of these in order to highlight what exactly is changing after this update. So yes, you will notice some significant changes. Now let's begin first of all with the seasons and the battle days. So these are all changing. So first of all, the Guild Wars season has been cut in half. Now it's not going to be 8 weeks, it's only going to be 4 weeks. So only a month now. Less time, yes, but also together with that, the number of days in a war is cut down from 8 to 6. So it's now going to be even less than a week. So yeah, everything is being cut down. The battles will start on Tuesday and go all the way to Sunday, and then registration is going to happen on Monday morning UTC time instead of Friday. So essentially, like Monday is going to be a registration day, and then battles will start all like the rest of that week. But yeah, it's a little bit of a change there. Now looking at the number of people that can play a battle, that also has changed, and it actually has been increased. So right now it's from 3 to 5, and after this update it's going to be from 3 to 10. So yes, there could be 10 people fighting at once in the group instead of 5, and this is kind of interesting. Now the war planner is gonna show the time in UTC instead of the date. And now something important here is the way that the Guild War Matchmaking works after this update. So right now there are two factors which determine which guild you're fighting with, and this is the guild tier and the levels inside the guilds. So this is changing, so it's no longer going to take into account the levels inside the guild, but instead it's going to take the number of registered participants and the guild tiers. So this means that you will not see situations where you're 10 people and you're fighting 8 people. You're essentially going to be fighting with the same amount of people all the time to make it more fair, because obviously numbers matter, because numbers have extra attacks, they can get more points, and obviously it's a loss for the other group if they have less people. But now it's going to be kind of like the same amount of people all the time, so it's going to be a little bit more balanced in that matter. And this is the sort of like the main matchmaking and the way the seasons and the days. Now let's have a look at some map changes that are happening and some visual improvements. So we have the enemies and objectives in Guild Wars and missions are going to be rebalanced. So the minimum level of missions in Guild Wars is going to start from 12. But it's also important to know that if your characters are level 12 or higher, this change is not going to affect you at all, so most players wouldn't need to worry about it. Next up, when you upgrade equipment, the level of equipment is going to be taken into account for Guild War missions into those offset calculations. Something interesting here as well is now, because of the amount of players increase from 5 to 10, they're also increasing the number of opponents in each sector. So it's gonna go from 3 to 4, and also the number of missions inside a sector is going to increase from 9 to 12. And in terms of when it comes to bonus sectors, it's gonna increase from 6 to 8. So yeah, there is a bit of increase here happening, but that's to balance, I guess, the amount of players that are gonna be playing, because it's basically doubled from 5 to 10 people. So yeah, now you're gonna be able to see something requested by people. You're gonna be able to see the amount of attacks from each team player on this scoreboard during the battle. And this is really nice, and something people wanted to see in order to plan. And I think here it's important to mention another important change is that the attacks are actually going to be cut down from 25 to 18, just because the amount of battle days are being cut down, and otherwise you have to do 50 attacks every week. So now they're cutting down to 18 per battle, so that is a bit wrong on the picture there, but yes, it's being cut down to 18, and I think that's important thing to notice. And finally, the final small change is a visual change on the mission screen before you begin the mission, and you're going to be able to see the mission objective before entering the mission, so you're gonna know exactly what you're gonna have to do. And this is again a nice change because it was missing. But overall, I feel like these changes are pretty nice for a starting point. Obviously it's still gonna be improved, it's not final, things are gonna be changing, but I think these changes are solid with this update, and I cannot wait to see what you guys think about this and what's how it's gonna look like after all these changes. Now keep in mind we have the tools as well, which you're gonna be able to earn in Guild Wars, which is another incentive to play Guild Wars. So we'll see how this plays out. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed sneak peek number 3. The last sneak peek number 4 is coming up tomorrow. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, I'll see you all in my next video.